So let's start our topic. Today we were going to discuss the physical properties and the chemical properties of acids. As we have discussed the physical properties of acids in our previous slides, now we will discuss the chemical properties of acids. The first one chemical property of acid is with metals. Acids react explosively with metals like sodium, potassium and calcium. However, dilute acids react moderately with reactive metals like magnesium, zinc, iron and aluminium to form their respective salts with the evolution of hydrogen gas. As you can see in this reaction, when the zinc react with sulfuric acid, it will produce zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas, here is an arrow over there which represents the liberation, the formation of a gas. Number 2 chemical property of metal is reaction with carbonate and bicarbonates. Acids react with carbonates and bicarbonates to form the corresponding salts with the evolution of carbon dioxide gas. Here they have given you the reaction of calcium carbonate with hydrochloric acid. As a result of this reaction, this calcium chloride is formed along with the liberation of carbon dioxide and water. Reaction with bases. As you know that whenever the acids react with a base, that will produce a salt and water. And this whole process is called a neutralization reaction. So in this case, when the acids react with bases, major bases are oxides and hydroxides of metals and ammonium hydroxide, that will form a salt and water. As you can see in this below reaction, that sodium hydroxide when react with HCl, that is an acid, it will produce a salt which is called a common salt, sodium chloride, along with water. Reaction with sulfides and bisulfides. Acids react with sulfides and bisulfides to form the salt with the liberation of sulfur dioxide gas. When the calcium sulfate react with hydrochloric acid, it will produce calcium chloride, sulfur dioxide gas and water. The last chemical reaction of acid is reaction with sulfides. Acids react with metal sulfide to liberate the hydrogen sulfide gas. Here they have given you an example. When iron sulfide react with sulfuric acid, it will form iron sulfate as well as hydrogen sulfide gas. Now here are some uses of acids, the acids which we are used in our daily life. Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is used to manufacture the fertilizers ammonium sulfate, calcium superphosphate, explosive, paints, dyes, drugs. It is also used as an electrolyte in lead storage battery. As it is a good conductor, that is why it is used in lead storage batteries. Nitric acid is used in manufacturing of fertilizer like ammonium nitrate, explosive, paints, dyes, drugs and teaching designs on copper plates. Hydrochloric acid is used for cleaning the metals, tanning and in printing industries. The process tanning is it's a process in which the skin or the hide of the animal is being processed to convert them into leather. Benzoic acid is used for the food preservation. It is used as a preservative to preserve the food in order to protect the food from the different bacteria or from the putrefaction of the food. Acetic acid. This acetic acid is very much known to all you people, that is a vinegar. This vinegar is used as a flavoring for food and as a food preservative. It is also used to cure the sting of wasp. G. Moving on to our next properties, that is the general properties of bases. Physical properties, as we have been discussed the physical properties of bases as well and in our previous slides. So here are some chemical properties of bases. So number one, reaction of base is with acids. Yes, as we have discussed in our previous slides as well, when the acid reacts with a base or when the base reacts with an acid, they will produce a salt, which is a harmless thing, and it will also produce the water. And this whole process, the reaction between acids and bases, is called a neutralization reaction. As you can see below, they have given you a base that is react with an acid and it will produce a salt as well as water. Reaction of bases with ammonium salts. Alkalis react with ammonium salts to liberate the ammonia gas. This alkali react with sodium hydroxide and it will produce a salt, that is sodium chloride, ammonia gas and water, as you can see in the below reaction. Precipitation of hydroxide. Alkalis bases precipitate insoluble hydroxide when added to solutions of salt of heavy metals such as copper, iron, zinc, lead and calcium. Yes, whenever a base is react with the copper salt, iron salt and the zinc salt, they will produce the distinguished color which help them to differentiate between different colors. As you can see in the examples below, that when the copper sulfate react with sodium hydroxide, it will produces the blue precipitate. When the zinc chloride react with the sodium hydroxide, they will produce white precipitate. Similarly, when the iron chloride react with sodium hydroxide, it will produces brown precipitate. When the lead react with that sodium hydroxide, it will produce the white precipitate. Calcium chloride react with the base, it will produces white precipitate, and when the iron sulfate react with sodium hydroxide, it will produces dirty green color. So according to these color, we can differentiate between different precipitates of hydroxides. Now the uses of bases. Sodium hydroxide is used for the manufacturing of soap. Calcium hydroxide is used for the manufacturing of bleaching powder, softening of hard water and neutralizing acidic soil and lakes due to the acid rain. Yes, this calcium hydroxide is used to neutralize the effect of acid in the lakes and the soil, because when the acid react with the base, it will produces a neutralization reaction and produce a neutral substance. Potassium hydroxide is used in alkaline batteries. Magnesium hydroxide is used as a base to neutralize the acidity in stomach. It is also used for the treatment of bee sting. Yes, you people have familiar with that Gaviscon syrup, mucane syrup, and that the medicine which we use to relieve from that stomach acidity. Whenever we'll feel stomach acidity, we use these type of medicine. So these type of medicines contain the basic medicine in them, which will neutralize the effect of stomach acidity. Aluminium hydroxide is used as a foaming agent in fire extinguishers. Ammonium hydroxide is used to remove the grease stains from the cloths. Stomach acidity. Stomach secretes the chemical in a regular way to digest the food. These chemicals mainly consist of hydrochloric acid along with an other salt. Although hydrochloric acid is highly corrosive, but the stomach protected from its effect because it is lined with cells that produce a base. Yes, our stomach lining helps our stomach to protect it from its hydrochloric acid. The base neutralizes the stomach acid. The important function of this hydrochloric acid is to break down the chemical bond of the food in the digestion process. Thus, the big molecules of the foods are converted into small ones. It also kills the harmful bacteria of certain foods and drinks. However, sometimes when the stomach produces too much acid, it causes the stomach acidity, which we called hyperacidity. Symptoms of this disease are feeling burning sensation throughout the gastrointestinal tract. These feelings sometimes extended toward the chest. That is called the heartburning. So, my question is here, how can we treat this stomach acidity? Yes, if we can avoid that spicy food, we can avoid the fatty acid food, then we can definitely relieve from that stomach acidity. Simple and regular eating, remaining in an upright position for about 45 minutes after taking a meal. Keeping the head elevated while sleeping. So there will be a no backflush of the food in our gastrointestine, in our esophagus. That's why we'll have to keep the head elevated while sleeping. So stomach acidity can also be relieved by using a medicine which is basic in nature, so that the stomach acidity can be neutralized by using a base. I hope that this lesson helps you in understanding all the above topics mentioned. If you were having any problem, any ambiguity, we will discuss inshallah in our meetup class. Stay blessed, stay at home. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.